what do I want it to be? So I'm gonna kind of answer what you're saying, but you'll see what I just put at the screen, right? EA's announcement on July 20th, man, is a really big deal. It's one of the biggest talks um in sports gaming or in gaming, period. I would like it to be Fight Night. It very well may be. I'm hearing some really encouraging things about that, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I'm gonna talk about why it's not NBA Live first. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's got to be live." Oh, they brought Scott O'Gallagher back to EA. A lot of you guys know that they hired Rob Jones as well. He works at EA, and obviously EA right now doesn't have a basketball vehicle at all. But I'm gonna tell you why it's not live. Why I'm almost 100% positive it's not live, and I'm almost 100% positive it's not basketball at all. I have learned that the entire live team has been broken up. I have spoken to people, several people, who have told me about different things that have happened with live with EA overall. Scott originally, and I have not spoken to Scott, so I'm gonna let you guys know that off the top. But you gotta know that when EA brought Scott to live, they brought Scott to EA, that basketball at that time probably was in the conversation. I mean, you're not gonna go get a guy who's working on 2K and who played professional basketball and feel like, oh, we're not gonna have him touch basketball at all. It wouldn't make any sense. Now, but if you know Scott, and I know Scott personally, but if you know Scott, Scott knows a lot about a lot of sports. He was a professional basketball player, but Scott's just an athlete, period. And he's a major sports fan, sports guy, analyst. He looks at things differently. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll see it's not just basketball, right? So Scott's capable of doing more than just basketball. And my thought and belief, based off what I'm hearing, is that he's not doing basketball at all. As a matter of fact, he is actually working on the EA's new college football game. So that's from variety of different places and variety of people that I've talked to are telling me that that's the deal, that Scott is actually working on college football and he's going to be kind of heading that project, which is another reason why that live return is not going to be it. If you look at all of the people who used to be, if you pay attention to who actually was working on live, they're either no longer with EA or they're working on another team. Ryan Santos, Connor Dugan, all of those names, all of those people who used to work on live are not even, they're not on the team at all. And what I was told, and this is, like I said, it's coming from more than one person, is that they thought that they were about ready to bring live out. Live was going to be brought out. It was either this year or last year. I believe it was, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. And there was a thought that it was going to be brought out as a free-to-play option. And the NBA came back to them and said, well, we don't, because they were going to release it around the same time 2K is supposed to release in September. But the NBA said, well, no, we don't want a free-to-play option to come out at the same time that 2K comes out, because that could hurt 2K sales. Now, this is the NBA talking. This is not 2K. This is NBA talking. A lot of people do not realize how much of an impact the actual leagues, so we're talking about NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, has on what happens with these games. The NBA did not want live to come out as a free-to-play game at the same time that 2K came out. So the first thing was, okay, well, let's make it be come out at a different time. So then it was like, okay, well, what time? So they were like, well, later in the year. Well, that's not the best time if you think about it. Now I'm not necessarily getting this from somebody, but if you just think about this, that's not the best time for a game to be coming out, because we're talking about now closer to Christmas, and things are getting tighter, you want a little bit more space there so that a game can take advantage of that part of the year. That's a little bit too late. And you, at this point, you probably got a bunch of people already entrenched in 2K, and that's probably not the best deal. So then the next thought of it was, well, okay, well, what's a good time? All right, well, the next good time, the next good frame of time to come out was All-Star time. All-Star Break said, oh yeah, you know, you can drop a free-to-play option, and boom, it'll come out around All-Star time and give people something to play. That's right about the time when people kind of start to get 2K fatigue anyway. My team goes off the rails, gets crazy. You could come out with this free-to-play option. You'll have a street-like version or a live run or whatever, and you'll be bam, here we go, you're ready. Suddenly, and this is what I'm told. Now this is, and like I said, this comes from more than one spot. What I'm told is they were called, the entire team was called in and told out of nowhere, live was done, live was canceled. Now there's a lot of people who are working on Live's team who already know this. And of course, if they're still at EA, then they can't talk about it, or maybe they are talking about it. Who knows? But I'm hearing from a lot of people from across everywhere that this is what went down, and that this is why if you're expecting to see Live announced, not only are you probably not going to see Live announced, you probably might never see Live again. I don't know why necessarily. Maybe it's just too much to try to recover. But everything that I've told you is what I've heard from multiple places. So that's why, while myself or somebody else might want to see Live as what gets announced on July 20th, I would not bet on it. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe the information that I've received is wrong. But if you just think about what I just told you, it makes sense. If you start to kind of put it all together, it kind of makes sense, right?